welcome back. I'm Blaise up at the World Economic Forum with Jean-Pierre Fallenbach of Bain, Indonesia. We were talking about leadership and the founder's mentality, which came out in your report, Teaching Dinosaurs to Dance, about conglomerates. What's the importance of it?
So in that part of the world, a lot of the conglomerates are still controlled or close to the family which founded them. And that actually gives
like
them,
Indonesia.
Like Indonesia is actually a very, very good example of that. And that has actually given those conglomerates some incredible assets to play with and to nurture, which is what we call the founder's mentality, that incredible entrepreneurial spirit, that sense of insurgency, that hatred of bureaucracy, love of fast, quick decisions. This is very precious, and many multinationals, which are also competing in those markets, wish they had those kind of values and traits. So one of the challenges of those family-owned or family-funded conglomerates is how do they keep those values, which are unique to founder companies, as they scale up and become bigger. So suddenly they become bigger, they add more businesses, they go international, they recruit professional managers, to start managing the business. How do they do that, which obviously has a lot of benefits, while not losing the mentality of the initial founder generation? And often that challenge is handed over to the next generation of the family, the second and third generation, which have both to keep professionalizing, as one says here often, the group, scaling it up, giving them more rigor in many ways in which they manage their business without losing that incredible entrepreneurial energy which was conferred onto them by the initial generation of family members.
What do you see happening here? We look Indonesia in terms of market penetration for conglomerates. They're actually behind the Philippines. They're nowhere near somewhere like Korea, which is a more developed economy. Would you call that a mature market?
Yeah, Korea, we would say, is a mature market. Korea, actually, it's interesting you bring that. It's a bit of an anomaly because if you follow the general learning of our research, you would expect Korea, South Korea, which is a highly developed economy, to have much less conglomerates, the chaebols.
It's about 80%.
That they have. Yes, it's very high. Yeah. But I think what you would see if you went beyond those numbers is that a lot of the chaebols have actually been underperforming a lot, over the past couple of years. But so they are like dinosaurs, but some ones are still allowed to dance, although not very convincingly. And I think one of the reasons is that the discipline of the market, the stock market, and the activism of shareholders is not as strong in South Korea as it has been in the US or in Europe, which actually has broken down those conglomerates which were not underperforming.
Where will Indonesia go then? In terms of the conglomerate market penetration, are we going to see them building up and stifling small business? Or are we going to see them going in conjunction with the growth of SMEs? Where do you see the conglomerates?
So I actually see conglomerates in Indonesia as having a long life in front of them, provided they prepare themselves for the next challenge, which we talked about, that they are being very thoughtful about the way they go internationally, that they start being a little bit more focused, in their portfolio, potentially spinning off some of the marginal businesses as the one in which they cannot build a sustainable leadership position. So that's for the conglomerates. Now, another question is, what about SMEs? Indonesia is actually not doing very well in terms of SMEs. It's one of the countries where you have a lot of those big conglomerates, and then you have micro businesses, 1, 2, 3 employees, and in between, the SMEs are actually few and far between, which is a challenge for the country because that segment of the economy is one which, when well managed, produces a lot of jobs for new people. So there's a lot of things that the government needs to do, in particular, to encourage or create an environment which is more conducive for SMEs to grow and flourish. It's going to be very important to Indonesia's success, and it's not given yet that that segment will grow as much as it needs to grow in Indonesia.
Well, that brings us to one of the fundamental points seemingly around this entire forum, talent. What can Indonesia do to get the necessary talent to let these conglomerates grow, to let other businesses grow? Do you see that being fixed?
Yes, talent is a huge issue and potentially a bottleneck. So there are many things which need to happen. The whole educational system has to be upgraded. I think the current team has made it a big priority, and it needs to improve. my feeling is also that Indonesia should be less restrictive in movement of talent across the region. And the country has been quite protectionist in terms of letting foreign talent come and help build and train the local talent. This actually is not helping, it's hindering. Also talking about SMEs, I think the country has to teach, promote, coach more entrepreneurs. Today, I mean, a lot of the young people feel that the best career is to go into large groups or join a government. I mean, you need to promote entrepreneurial spirit, particularly in the more high-growth tech areas where the country has a lot of potential.
And well, with tech, we've got the young population using it. Do you see maybe Bandung's proposed tech city becoming a new Silicon Valley, or is that too far?
Maybe Silicon Valley is a bit far, but they have some excellent with ITB, and they have a real strong foundation of some of the best best teaching and best professors and best students. And there is a young generation which is very tech savvy in Indonesia. As you know, it's an incredibly well-connected society. So I think there is potential to develop, and I think it's in the interest of the country to promote that sector of the economy.
All right. Jean-Pierre, thank you so much for talking to us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Blaise.
Thanks. Going back to you guys in the studio now. I'm Blaise, and I'll be at the World Economic Forum for today and tomorrow. See you again soon.